Welcome to the Better Together podcast, where we look for ways we can work together to advance the gospel of Jesus Christ. Today we have with us Derek Altom. He's the Director of Events and Development at Randall House Publications, D6 Family Ministries. So Derek, thank you for joining us today.
Hey man, it's always great to be with you.
Hey man, look, tell us a bit about what's happening at D6, and I'm hearing a lot about D6 heroes.
That's right.
What is a D6 hero?
Usually I'm here and I have my events hat on when it comes to the D6 conference or Vertical 3. I'm going to take that off and put on the development hat here. We're so excited about the opportunity that the Lord has given us at Randall House and D6 Family Ministry to do good ministry and to tell our story and invite people to join that story. And so a D6 hero is a man or a woman or a ministry or an organization that heroically gives of their financial resources to help us kind of fulfill the mission that God has called us to, and that is to help you build believers through church and home. We're not the ones who are building believers through church and home. We want to be the equipping, the guide, if you will, in helping churches and families build believers through church and home. And so we're just so thankful for the men and women, the organizations who are giving of their financial resources just to help further that mission.
So one way to help with the mission is, of course, buy the curriculum,
100%,
participate in the events. And someone's probably thinking, but hey, don't you sell curriculum and events? But it takes more than that, really, doesn't it?
Well, and we like to use this analogy not to jump out of our lane here, but it's much like a college that charges room and board and fees and those kind of things to do what they do. But then almost every college under the sun also has some kind of fundraising arm that helps, fund programs that those fees and tuition dollars and things don't fund, and do special initiatives. And that's very similar at Randall House and D6 Family Ministry. We do sell curriculum, and we do want you to buy our curriculum. And that is one of the best ways that you can invest in our ministry. But to do all the things that God has called us to do and given us opportunities to do, we need men and women to come alongside of us and give of their financial resources so that we can do what God has called us to do and help build believers through church and home, help them build believers through church and home.
And so you do sell things, but you also give much away, give a lot of curriculum away. And so maybe our listeners are not aware of a lot of what D6 Family gives away. Walk us through that a bit.
We kind of have three main lanes inside of D6 Hero, and they could go to d6hero.com and see all of this kind of fleshed out and request more information. But we have the lane of leadership development, and that's where you're going to find things like Truth and Peace and the Youth Evangelistic Team and CTS. And I understand students raise money to be on Truth and Peace and be on YET, but that doesn't even come close to offsetting the cost of those programs. And so we believe in things like those three items specifically, that we want to invest intentional dollars in doing leadership development so that this pastor shortage and things like that we have, that we're kind of doing our part to kind of raise up leaders to kind of fill holes and have a solid footing in our churches, whether it be in ministry professionals or volunteers, lay people growing forward. The second lane would be church resources, things like us providing curriculum for free for Free Will Baptist church planters for the first 2 years of their plant, and then for years 3 and 4, making it 50% off. We do that because of the generous contributions of D6 Heroes. And there's tons of other stuff inside these lanes. That third lane would be home resources, things like helping us underwrite the cost of sending devotional magazines out for free, or we have countries right now around the world that are taking D6 curriculum, translating it into their language to use for generational discipleship around the world. Some of it is being done in restricted access countries and used in the underground church. And we're able to give that away freely because of our D6 Heroes and because of the generous men and women who are giving. So again, the Lord is enabling us to do good ministry. What we're trying to do now in our third year of fundraising is tell our story, because we believe that God has people out there that as we ask them to join, they're going to join the ranks of our heroes, and they're going to help us take the gospel and the message of generational discipleship literally around the world.
That's great. And so, though, yes, there are products, but really it helps keep down the cost of products and allow for giving products away. We've talked on another podcast about Vertical 3.
That's right.
And that's also a very expensive endeavor.
Correct. So
even giving in this way is a way to support that particular ministry.
Yeah, that would fall under that leadership development category. And if we had to charge what we needed to charge for the Vertical 3 conference, I don't think anybody would show up, because you guys know, I mean, all the stuff that goes involved in that conference. But because of D6 Heroes and generous, faithful partners, we're able to kind of stay where we are and hopefully break even. But the more people want to invest in the Vertical 3 conference, even people who maybe for whatever reason were like, hey, my kids are grown, they're not going to do CTS anymore, or they're out of Truth and Peace age or out of Yet age, or I can't come to the convention anymore or the conference anymore, but I can still play a part and I can help. Man, that's so needed. And so we would welcome them to visit d6hero.com and figure out how the Lord might be using them and their resources to invest in generational discipleship.
That's great. So think about how you've benefited from these ministries, and maybe part of your legacy is to give back to them to help them to carry on.
Yeah, and if I could just say this, I think sometimes people get paralyzed in I can only give you like $10 a month. Well, you know, like, and I hate to use the cheesy gospel song, a little bit, but like little is much when God is in it.
Yeah.
And it may be that you're giving $10 a month and Ryan's giving $10 a month and I'm giving $10 a month and so are 50, 60, 70, 100 other people. That compounds. Yeah. And it's almost like we're doing more because we're better together than depending upon that one massive gift. Now we'll take that big massive gift.
Right. Okay. Right.
But I'm just like, don't think what you have to give is too little. Right.
Anything helps.
It really makes a difference.
Yeah. Very good. Well, hey, thank you for stopping by and sharing that with us today.
Yeah. So d6hero.com. Good. And I'm just will ask our Better Together audience if they'll consider joining our ranks.
That's great. Yeah. Well, we encourage you to go to the website, d6family.com, look at ways you can support D6 Family Ministries, and maybe you can be a D6 hero. Yeah. That would be a wonderful thing, a wonderful choice to make today.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity to tell our story.
Absolutely. Yeah. And hey, we want to thank you all for joining us today. Please take this podcast, share it with someone that you think would benefit. Remember, every little bit really does help. We truly are better when we work together. Yeah. Thank you for joining us.